Welcome to the Portable Classroom. This is the vocabulary for Unit 9 in the Vocab Builder for senior high school students. So first, let's talk about number 4. Number 4, the word is release. Release. The past tense of that is released with a D at the end, and the D is pronounced as t, released. Okay, so released can be used in many different ways. The first one is 发行, like the singer released her first album last year. Okay, kind of like publish, but for the album we say release. For book you can say publish. Next one is to let out, 释出释放. Like the rose released a wonderful smell, a wonderful scent when Bob pressed it in his hand. Okay, so that's the second way to use the word release. The third way would be to let somebody go or let something go. So the child released the butterflies from the net. Okay, so the child let the butterfly go, something like that. So that's how you use the word release. Next one, let's talk about number 5, mobilize. Mobilize is the verb of the word mobile. Okay, now mobilized, the past tense of that will be mobilized with a D at the end, and the D is pronounced as D, mobilized. When you mobilize somebody or mobilize something, you try to get everybody to get involved. So mobilize means 动员. So you can mobilize somebody or something against somebody or something else. Like the union, which means 工会, is trying to mobilize the workers against the owners of the company. So he's trying to put everybody together so they can have a greater force when they want to ask something from the company. So that's what mobilize is. The second is 组织. You can mobilize something, someone to do something or for something. So the representatives wants to mobilize the voters to support their ideas. So they want to get as many voters as possible to support their cause. So that's the second way of using mobilize. Now number 6, let's talk about attract. The past tense of attract is attracted. Okay, attracted with ed at the end, and the ed is pronounced as it, attracted. Attract means to 吸引. So the garden city attracts many tourists. So many tourists want to go to the garden city because maybe it's beautiful or something. So it attracts many tourists. Now there are 2 other phrases that we usually use attract with. The first one is attract huge crowds or audiences. Now of course you can say attract a huge crowd or attract a huge audience. Okay, so attract huge crowds or audiences. The second one is attract a lot of attention, so people will pay attention to you, or you can attract a lot of criticism. Now let's say the word again, criticism. 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 So people are going to say give you some kind of opinion, constructive opinion as to like where you did wrong or where you did right. That's criticism. Okay. Number 11, let's talk about the word produce. Again, produce. Produce is a verb over here. The past tense of produce is with a D at the end and is produced. Produced. The D at the end is pronounced as t, produced. To produce something is to make something, to manufacture something. Okay, so France produces a great deal of wine for export. So a great deal of means a lot of. Export is the opposite of import. Okay, and produce can also be used to refer to give birth to. Okay, 生育, like our cat produced 4 kittens during the course of the night. So during the course of the night is just during the period of time of the night. So it's during the night, it's the same thing. Now, remember, produce can also be used to refer to giving birth to something. Now let's talk about number 13. 13 is display. Display being used as a verb. The past tense is displayed. Just add ed at the end, and the ed is displayed. Is d. Alright, so to display means to show, means to exhibit. Okay, so here is an example. Family photos were displayed on the wall, were shown on the wall, were exhibited on the wall. Now here is a chart for the comparison of display, exhibit, and exhibition. Over here, display is being used as a noun. Okay, in the book, display is being used as a noun. So display, like some birds will spread their wings in a display, like to show of strength. So this display is a noun, not a verb like the one we talked about. The park rules are displayed. This one is a verb. Display on the sign at the gate. So that's display. Exhibit also means to show. You can use that as a verb and also a noun. So I saw a great exhibit about French artists in the museum this weekend. So this exhibit means a single, like an artifact or a painting, something like that. That's an exhibit. Okay, and all museum has announced that it will be introducing dozens of new exhibits, dozens of new paintings, artifacts, stuff like that. So that's exhibit means one single painting, a single artifact, or single work, a work of art, something like that. Okay, whereas exhibition refers to the gathering itself, 就是展览会本身. So there was an exhibition of North American art at the museum, and in that exhibition, I bet you can see many different exhibits. 14, we're going to talk about the word develop. Again, develop. The past tense of develop is developed. Now, the ed at the end is t. Okay, so developed means 发展发育. Okay, so like the example, it became clear that he wasn't developing like all the other little boys. So maybe he was behind, or maybe he was a little bit too fast, something like that. So this means 发育. And then develop into means 演变成. Like the fear is that these minor clashes, these minor conflicts, these minor disagreements that we have might develop into all-out confrontation. Confrontation is kind of like a fight or having a heated argument with someone else. Like you really don't like somebody and you say out loud, that's the confrontation. And all out means total, like everything is under the sun now. Number 17, we're going to talk about the word revolutionized. Revolutionize. Now the past tense of revolutionize is revolutionized with a D at the end, and the D is pronounced as D. Revolutionized. To revolutionize, which means to advance something further, so that's kind of completely different from its original piece. Okay, for example, Newton's discovery revolutionized physics. So from that point onward, from Newton discovered something, physics, the subject of physics, is never the same. That will be revolutionized. So now let's talk about the other words. The first one is arrival. Arrival means 来到, 到达, it's a noun, sometimes countable, sometimes not countable, okay? And then arrive is the verb, but it's very easy. You guys know how to use arrive. The past tense of arrive as a verb, however, is arrived. Okay. Sometimes you will go to the department store and you will see the sign says new arrival, means the new things in the store. That will be the new arrival. Now number 2, we have the word century. Now 1 century, 2 centuries. Drop Y and add IES, centuries. Number 3 is an adverb that we usually use at the beginning of a sentence, like eventually he will get it. So eventually, comma, he will get it. So eventually means at the end, means finally, means ultimately. Okay, here's another word you need to remember, ultimately. And then eventual, that will be the adjective of eventually. Now number 7, we have foldable. If something's foldable, we can fold the thing in half. Okay, it's an adjective. Now as a verb, we use the word fold. The past tense is folded. Okay, of course, fold can also be used as a noun. It's countable. There are several folds on this paper, so fold. And then folding will be the adjective. Like this is a folding phone, or a foldable phone, something like that. We usually use the word folding before a noun. And the next one is folder. It's a thing. It's kind of like a thing that we use in offices. Okay, so there's a folder, countable, 1 folder, 2 folders. Now number 8, we have the word model. Again, model. Model over here is being used as a noun. Now 1 model, 2 models. Of course, 模特 is a kind of model, or you can use model to refer to certain type of machines, certain type of prototypes. 机型和型号叫 model. Also refers to, model toys that people collect. 模型也叫 model. And then you can use the word model as a verb. The past tense of model as a verb is modeled, with the D at the end. So when you model someone, means you're trying to be like somebody. You are trying to do things like that person and act like that person. That's how you try to model somebody. 模仿 is kind of like mimic and copy everything you see. That's model. Okay. And then number 9, we have portable. Again, portable. Portable. If something's portable, it's easy to carry around. So this is an adjective, portable. And then portability is the noun. Let's say it again. Portability. Portability. Portability is the ability that you can actually take that thing with you everywhere you go. That will be the portability. So some things has really good portability, which means they are portable. Number 10, we have mass. Mass. This is an adjective. Mass means a lot. A large scale, and you can also use the word mass to refers to as a noun. Like when you say mass, you're talking about the public. 大量的 团或快叫 mass. Okay, and then mass production. Remember this. Mass production means to make something in a huge, in a massive quantity. So that's mass production. 大量生产. Okay. Now number 12 is digital. Again, digital. Okay, so digital means is an adjective. Okay, that the noun of digital will be digitized. Digitized. Oh, sorry, my bad. Digitized. That's to make something into a digital format or something. Now, digit is 数字 like 3-digit number, 三位数 2-digit number, and a 5-digit number. And then digital camera, that's the kind of camera that we use now and then. Now let's talk about 4, 5, 6, and 11. It's the other words. We know how to use release. Number 5. Mobile, it's kind of like portable, it's very similar, and mobility is kind of like portability. And then we have automobile, that refers to a car, and then mobilize, we talked about that before. Number 6, we have attractive. That's the adjective of attract, and if something is attractive also means that something is very appealing. Okay, and then attractiveness, that's the吸引力, that's the noun of attractive. And then attraction, like tourist attraction. Now, Taipei 101 is one of the tourist attraction, meaning it's a very famous landmark or very famous spot that when tourists come to Taiwan, they will visit these different tourist attractions. Now, the final one is production. Production 是生产, it's countable and also uncountable at the same time. Movie production 就是电视制作, 电影制作, it can be movie production, TV production. Now, production, produce as a verb is similar to manufacture, and manufacture can also be used as a noun. So production is the same as manufacture in some senses, but you cannot say movie manufacture. You have to say movie production. Manufacture usually used to refer to things that we make from factories. Okay, and then product, that will be the noun of produce. So one product, two products. Products are also goods, but the difference is you can count products like one product, two products, whereas goods is usually in this format, a plural format. So goods with an S at the end. And a producer will be 制作人, and then productivity. Also, productive means somebody who can do like a lot. Very productive means the person is probably very efficient, so he can do many things within the same amount of time. That's productive. And if you want to know the noun of that, 生产力的名词 is productivity. So drop the E and add ity. Okay? Now let's talk about 15 first. 15 we have screen. Screen is the monitor. Okay, so it's a noun, countable 1, screen 2, screen. Now you can also use screen as a verb, like to screen something. It means to 审查, to check something. Okay, now screening is 检查筛检的意思, and then the big screen means the movie, the small screen means the TV. Number 16 we have marriage. Marriage is 结合体. The marriage between two things, or the marriage between two people, that will be 婚姻. Okay, so marry is a verb, like somebody marries someone, so drop y and add ied. Okay, and then married is an adjective, like he is married, means he has a wife and she has a husband. Okay, number 17, we'll talk about it later. Let's talk about number 18 first. Number 18 is era. Okay, era, 纪元时代. It's kind of like century. Okay, so one era, two eras. Number 19, we have technology. People nowadays say tech for technology. It's the same thing. And next one is technological. Technological. This is an adjective. Let's say the word again. Technological. Technological. Okay, 技术的. Okay, now number 20, we have launch. If when you launch something, it means it's out there in the market. Or 有可能是火箭升空叫 launch the missile. Alright, now launch can also be used as a verb, like launch a new business, start a new business. Okay, launch a new product means release a new product. Okay, you can launch a rocket as well, launch the rocket. Okay, now launch is also a noun, so launches. Now number 13, let's talk about the other word. We know how to use display as a verb, and how about display as a noun, like a computer display. We're talking about the screen, right? And then display also means 陈列, 展列. Okay, something on display, 就是展示出来. Number 14, we have development. Again, development. This is a noun of develop. 发展, 进展. And then we know how to use developed. And then developer will be 开发者. Okay, developing. This is the adjective. 开发中的, like some developing countries and developed countries. 开 开发中国家 is developing country. 已开发国家 is developed countries. Alright? And then moving on to 17, we have revolutionize. We talked about that before. Now, revolutionary is the adjective. Revolutionary, 革命性的. Like this is a revolutionary breakthrough. It's gonna change everything. Like revolutionary. And then revolution is a noun, countable 1 revolution, 2 revolutions. 革新，彻底革命，改革的意思。OK。